Hello everyone, I am Mr.Dishwasher. In the previous chapter, we explored how Luffy made a 2-year commitment to his comrades. Time flew by swiftly, and before they knew it, 2 years had passed. After bidding farewell to Empress and the animals on Ruzukana Island, Luffy packed his belongings and set off for the Sabaody archipelago. Surprisingly, Zoro was the first to arrive at Shaki's bar. Thanks to Perona's guidance, he didn't get lost and became the first companion to reach the destination. Feeling bored, Zoro even considered borrowing a fishing boat for some fishing, but accidentally boarded someone else's pirate ship and inadvertently sliced it in half. One by one, the members of the Straw Hat crew arrived. Sanji finally escaped from the Okamas, and Brook was having a farewell concert. Nami encountered Usopp and warmly embraced him, expressing her excitement. Currently, in Sabaody, there is also a group of imposters posing as the Straw Hat Pirates, capitalizing on Luffy's fame to recruit more members. Chopper, who suffers from face blindness, mistook them for his crewmates and followed them for quite some time. Luffy himself also mistook them for his comrades and greeted them, including Zoro and Sanji. Of course, the imposter incident didn't last long. The Marines received intelligence and swiftly captured the fake Straw Hat Pirates. During this process, Luffy revealed his true identity and encountered Sentomaru. A battle ensued, and pacifistas were unleashed. Presently, Luffy's strength has greatly increased, and with a single attack, he completely destroyed the pacifistas. Soon, Zoro and Sanji arrived, and they faced the same interception. And thus, Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji successfully reunited. They also encountered Silver's Rayleigh, who came to bid them farewell. Over the 2 years, Rayleigh's fondness for Luffy had grown immensely. Luffy sincerely thanked his mentor once again and expressed his dream. Later, Rayleigh bade farewell to Luffy, reminiscing about the little moments they had during the 2 years. He confronted the entire Navy on Luffy's behalf. Finally, all members of the Straw Hat crew were back together. Zoro openly teased Sanji. During the 2-year period, except for Chopper, the Straw Hat crew underwent significant changes. Robin not only lightened her skin color but also enhanced her facial features, making her even more captivating. Afterwards, with the help of numerous friends, the Straw Hat crew managed to elude the Navy. They set sail on the Thousand Sunny towards Fishman Island and the New World. During the descent, Frankie unveiled the truth about the Thousand Sunny's impeccable condition. It turned out that the ship had been protected by Kuma, preventing the Navy from causing any harm to it. Prior to his modifications, Kuma made an agreement with Vegapunk, vowing to safeguard the Thousand Sunny until the Straw Hat crew arrived. Under the guise of a tyrant, Kuma performed acts of benevolence. Only then did everyone realize that Kuma was, in fact, their benefactor. At that moment, the Straw Hat crew encountered the Caribou Pirates. Surprisingly, the Caribou Pirates sought fame and recognition by challenging Luffy. However, Caribou unexpectedly found himself alone on Luffy's ship, facing the entire Straw Hat crew. Subsequently, Caribou became the first pirate crew in the New World to be defeated by Luffy. Later, Luffy and his group encountered the giant octopus Kraken, which carried them down to a depth of 7,000 meters due to a descending current. After a series of adventures, a colossal large monk named Watatsumi appeared before them, accompanied by the ghost ship, Flying Dutchman. Just as the sea monster was about to obey Vanderdecken's command to attack the Sunny, Kraken intervened and saved them by pummeling the large monk. It turned out that Luffy had completely tamed the giant octopus and befriended it. Subsequently, a volcanic eruption occurred on the sea floor, and Nami guided everyone to the trench, leading them to a depth of 10,000 meters. The Sunny cleverly evaded pursuit by the new Fishman pirates using the coup de burst technique and finally arrived at Fishman Island. However, they were separated by the sea current. Luffy, Chopper, Sanji, and Usopp found themselves at Kami's house. Kami gave them a tour of Fishman Island and introduced them to the three princes of the Neptune royal family. On the way, Sanji had a nosebleed due to close contact with a mermaid, causing him to lose a significant amount of blood, putting his life in danger and requiring urgent treatment. However, Fishman Island forbids giving blood to humans due to the deep-rooted conflict between humans and fishmen. Helplessly, Kami left with Luffy to find someone willing to donate blood to save Sanji. After a journey, they arrived at the Mermaid Cafe, where they found some Okamas willing to donate blood to Sanji, saving his life. While Luffy took everyone on a tour of Fishman Street, the cafe's manager, Shirley, had a vision of the future. She saw that Fishman Island would be utterly destroyed due to Luffy's actions. On the other hand, Luffy encountered Brook, Pappug, and Nami, learning that Vanderdecken had been threatening the Mermaid Princess with marriage. Currently, Fishman Island is under the rule of the Yonko, Big Mom. Later, King Neptune appeared before the group. This was because Luffy had previously accidentally rescued Princess Shirahoshi's pet shark, Megalo. King Neptune extended an invitation to everyone to visit Ryugu Palace. On the other hand, Caribou managed to escape from the chaos and secretly kidnapped mermaids using the power of the Swamp fruit. However, the guards mistakenly identified Luffy and his crew as the suspects. Inside Ryugu Palace, Luffy found himself in an unusually stretchy and pliable area, which turned out to be the residence of Princess Shirahoshi. For the past decade, Shirahoshi had refrained from venturing outside to avoid Vanderdecken, who possessed the Mark fruit ability, enabling him to target her with objects thrown at her, posing a significant threat. However, this time, to fulfill Shirahoshi's wish of visiting her mother's grave in the sea forest, Luffy ensured her protection and accompanied her to the site. Meanwhile, Nami and the others encountered Zoro. Nonetheless, when King Neptune learned about the mermaid's disappearance, he turned hostile towards the Straw Hat crew and ordered their arrest. Surprisingly, Zoro's formidable combat prowess effortlessly subdued King Neptune. Simultaneously, the leader of the new Fishman pirates, Hody, and Vanderdecken held a formal meeting, planning to overthrow King Neptune's rule and join forces. Subsequently, they infiltrated the king's Ryugu Palace, but upon realizing that Shirahoshi wasn't present, Vanderdecken immediately pursued her. Meanwhile, Nami recognized the emblem of the new Fishman pirates on Hody, discovering that he inherited Arlong's deep-seated hatred towards humans and aspired to dominate them. To confront the Straw Hat crew, he even flooded the Ryugu Palace with seawater. Observing this, Zoro instructed the others to evacuate while he remained to confront the enemies. Following that, Zoro took action, displaying his one-sword IAI technique and effortlessly defeating Hody. However, in the water, Zoro's combat abilities were limited, and eventually, Hody, fueled by the energy steroids and the advantage of being in the water, captured Zoro, Usopp, Neptune, and the others. Meanwhile, Nami, aboard the flying fish Kami, managed to escape. On the other side, Luffy and Shirahoshi encountered Sanji and Chopper. Sanji, driven by his dream of meeting the Mermaid Princess, was willing to sacrifice himself, regardless of his nosebleed. Fortunately, this time Sanji turned to stone directly, avoiding the risk of anemia crisis. Then, Vanderdecken pursued them, intending to capture Shirahoshi. However, Luffy easily defeated Decken and the large monk, leaving triumphantly. Afterward, they arrived at the sea forest to pay their respects to Shirahoshi's mother, Queen Otohime. Here, Luffy met Jinbe and some of the Straw Hat crew members and learned about Fishman Island's history from Jinbe. Many years ago, fishmen suffered from discrimination and oppression by humans. Two individuals stood up to protect Fishman Island, the peace advocate, Queen Otohime, and the captain of the Sun Pirates, Fisher Tiger. Tiger advocated for liberation and freedom, and both Jinbe and Arlong were once his crew members. Tiger rescued numerous fishmen slaves and even attacked Mariajoa, the Holy Land. To To liberate themselves from the shadow of slavery, each crew member was branded with the symbol of the sun. It can be said that both Otoheim and Tiger were heroes of Fishman Island, but their ideologies and methods were entirely different. Once, Tiger rescued a human slave girl named Koala. Despite her ordeal, she remained strong and faced everything with a smile, just to survive. In reality, Koala longed deeply for her mother in her hometown. Her strong desire to reunite with her mother led her to take a life-threatening risk and board Tiger's ship. This act touched Tiger's heart, prompting him to order his entire crew to lower their weapons, assuring Koala of her safety. He also encouraged the young girl to express her emotions freely, including shedding tears if needed. And so, Koala remained with the Sun Pirates. Over the years, she developed profound friendships with the fishmen, and they influenced each other positively. However, an unexpected incident occurred when Tiger sent Koala back to her mother. It was later revealed that releasing Koala was part of a world government plot to exterminate the Sun Pirates who had set foot on land. In a fierce battle, Tiger lost a significant amount of blood and found himself on the verge of death. Despite the possibility of saving himself with human blood, he refused, disclosing that he himself was once a slave. Having witnessed numerous human atrocities, his heart had become consumed by hatred. All of this changed with Koala's arrival. In his final moments, Tiger acknowledged Queen Otoheim's vision of peaceful coexistence with humans as the right path for Fishman Island. Following Tiger's passing, Jinbe aimed to bridge the gap between fishmen and humans, earning a position as one of the 7 warlords of the sea. On the other hand, Arlong received a pardon from the Marines and was exiled to the East Blue, Nami's homeland. Meanwhile, Queen Otoheim, an advocate for peace, inadvertently rescued the celestial dragon Josgard. During the rescue, Shirahoshi showcased her ability to control Sea Kings, which caught the attention of Vander Decken. Later, Otoheim ventured to the human world alongside the celestial dragons, demonstrating its safety and collecting many friendly signatures from humans. This inspired the path of peace for Fishman Island, and the fishmen placed even greater trust in their queen. However, tragedy struck when Otoheim was assassinated by a human pirate, leading to her demise. Despite her dying wish for the fishmen not to be consumed by hatred, they once again harbored disappointment and animosity towards humans, a grudge that continues to this day. Returning to the present, Jinbe earned Nami's forgiveness. They then discovered that Hody planned to execute Neptune and declare himself king as the once-in-4 years World Conference was about to convene. Neptune's aim was to propose a new peace treaty between fishmen and humans, an idea vehemently opposed by Hody. He vowed to initiate a great age of fishmen and openly challenged Luffy, who had a bounty of 400 million berries. On Brook's side, he utilized his ability to separate his soul from his body and found Pap-Pug, who successfully rescued Zoro and the others, enabling them to escape from Ryugu Palace. Meanwhile, Fishman Island suffered extensive destruction caused by Hody. Those who once supported Otoheim were now condemned by Hody as traitors. Hody also consumed a large quantity of energy steroids, significantly boosting his strength. Amidst the chaos, Jinbe and Shirahoshi were the first to rush to the execution site to rescue Neptune. However, they fell into Hody's trap and were captured. At this moment, Hody revealed that he was the one who killed Queen Otoheim 10 years ago, with the intention of fueling hatred between humans and fishmen. On the other side, Vander Decken hurled the massive Arc Noah toward Shirahoshi, deciding to destroy both her and Fishman Island together. In the execution plaza, faced with Hody's threat, the fishmen remembered Shirley's prophecy and called out Luffy's name, hoping that he would come to their rescue. Unexpectedly, Luffy emerged from the shark's mouth and made a dazzling appearance. Afterward, all members of the Straw Hat crew showed up one by one, and the great battle began against the 100,000 fishmen. At the beginning, Luffy unleashed his Haushiku Haki, instantly defeating 50,000 fishmen. Following suit, the Straw Hat crew and Jinbe effortlessly took down the fishmen pirate officers. It can be said that the new fishmen pirates became a grand stage for showcasing the skills of the Straw Hat crew. Just then, Noah appeared above Fishman Island. Shirahoshi realized she was the target of the arc and immediately left the island, while Luffy, Hody, and the royal prince closely pursued her. As Noah seemed about to follow Shirahoshi away from the island, Hody went berserk and assassinated Vanderdecken. As a result, under the influence of gravity, Noah plummeted back toward Fishman Island. In the midst of this crisis, the royal prince questioned why Hody harbored such immense hatred toward humans. However, Hody's answer was shocking. It turned out that humans had never done anything to Hody. He lived in his own imagined grudge. The new Fishman pirates were also monsters formed by accumulated resentment. Afterward, Hody defeated the royal prince and engaged in a battle with Luffy. But how could he be a match for Luffy? With a single move, the Red Hawk, Luffy sent Hody flying far away. At this moment, Hody consumed another excessive dose of energy steroids and underwent further mutation. He once again confronted Luffy, using his Murasame technique, while Luffy, urged by the hopes of all the fishmen, unleashed his ultimate attack, the Elephant Gun. And so, Luffy decisively defeated Hody. At the same time, the Straw Hat crew took down all of the new Fishman pirates. However, the crisis was far from over, as Noah was about to crash onto Fishman Island. Seeing this, Luffy bravely attacked Noah with the intention of smashing the ark with his fists. The battle was incredibly intense, and Luffy's actions touched all the fishmen, who called out to him and thanked him for his efforts to save Fishman Island. Finally, under Luffy's relentless assault, Noah was destroyed halfway. But then, a voice reached Luffy's ears, urging him to stop immediately because Noah was a ship of the promise between Fishman Island and Joy Boy. Shortly after, Shirahoshi summoned the Sea Kings, who intercepted Noah and prevented the impending catastrophe. With this, the crisis was finally averted, and Fishman Island embraced genuine peace. After the battle, Luffy, who had lost a significant amount of blood, received a blood transfusion from Jinbe and regained his health. They broke the shackles that had bound Fishman Island, and both humans and fishmen began anew. Luffy extended an invitation to Jinbe to join the Straw Hat crew, but Jinbe had one last task to fulfill and temporarily declined the offer. Later, the Straw Hat crew attended the king's banquet. Neptune informed Robin that the historical text mentioned a person seeking forgiveness, Joy Boy. He also revealed that Shirahoshi, the princess, was one of the three ancient weapons, Poseidon. Meanwhile, Caribou overheard their conversation. On the other side, Luffy learned from Jinbe that Admiral Akainu defeated Admiral Akiji to become the fleet admiral. Akiji left the Marines, and Blackbeard became one of the four emperors and so on. Meanwhile, Caribou secretly kidnapped Shirahoshi with malicious intentions, but Luffy and the others happened to pass by and intervene gently. Later, Big Mom's envoy also arrived at Fishman Island to demand sweets. Due to Hody's destruction of the sweets factory, and Luffy eating all the remaining sweets, there was no way to provide the desserts. Luffy directly declared war on Big Mom through a phone call, stating that Fishman Island would now be guarded by him. To compensate for Big Mom's losses, Luffy sent her the treasure, the Tam-8 box, which came from Ryugu Palace. However, unbeknownst to Big Mom, the Tam-8 box concealed a bomb to prevent theft, laying the groundwork for future events. Finally, the Straw Hat crew set sail once again. Before parting ways, they made a promise with Shirahoshi that they would take her to see a real forest on their next adventure. And so, the Straw Hat crew entered the second half of the Grand Line, the New World. Here, they would embark on a brand new adventure filled with even more excitement. With this, the story of Fishman Island came to a close, showcasing the results of the Straw Hat crew's 2-year training and setting the stage for many new mysteries and developments in the New World. The Ark Noah, Joy Boy, Big Mom's Treasure Box, and Luffy's destruction of Fishman Island are just a few of the mysteries that lie ahead, making everyone eagerly anticipate what will unfold. As for what the future holds, we will find out in the next chapter. Thank you all. Goodbye.